Hello again, and very welcome. Today we are heading out on an African safari. Now, I know what you are thinking. A safari means looking for magnificent lions, towering elephants, and speedy cheetahs, right? Well, yes, but our expedition has a very special twist. We are on a culinary quest to unearth the most bizarre, mind-blowing, and delightfully fun facts about the stuff that fuels us every day: food. Now, before we trek into the wild, do me a massive favor. Hit that subscribe button right down there. It supercharges our channel and keeps our expedition trucks running. We couldn't possibly do this trip alone, so we've hired some of the most brilliant, distinguished experts on the planet. Today's hairy presenter is a literal genius and a resident of the deep jungle. He has a massive brain, an appetite for knowledge, and a fondness for bananas. Please welcome your host.
Welcome to my jungle, distant human cousins. Please take your seats, put down your smartphones, make yourselves comfortable, and stop picking at your fur for just a moment. Today, we need to have a serious chat about your diet. Specifically, that tiny green tree-looking thing you force your children to eat: broccoli. You see, from my branch up in the canopy, I watch you spend millions of bucks buying it, steaming it, and smothering it in cheese just to make it tolerable. But I am here today to educate you on a deeply hidden truth about where broccoli actually came from. Spoiler alert, it did not come from nature. It never existed in the wild. So, if you are sitting out there right now looking for a bulletproof, scientifically accurate excuse to never eat your vegetables again, you are going to want to stick around for the full story. Trust me, it is going to drive you wild. And let me make this very clear. If you try to sneak out before the end of this video, my hands are already full, my aim is perfect, and I will start throwing things at you.
The Etruscans are largely credited with giving the world broccoli. Rather than being a modern vegetable created by scientists in a laboratory, broccoli was actually developed more than 2,000 years ago. It is the product of expert farming techniques used by this ancient Italian society before the rise of the Roman Empire. They cultivated a wild plant, Brassica oleracea, similar to wild cabbage, and bred it to produce the large edible flower buds we now recognize as broccoli. Since broccoli was developed through traditional crop breeding farming methods rather than modern laboratory engineering, it is not considered a genetically modified food or GMO. That same wild cabbage plant was selectively bred by humans to create several other distinct vegetables, including cabbage, bred for its leaves, cauliflower, bred for its flower clusters, kale, bred for its large leaves, Brussels sprouts, bred for its leaf buds, and kohlrabi, bred for its swollen stem. The Etruscans were powerful maritime traders, and they didn't keep their new agricultural staple to themselves. They traded early forms of broccoli across the Mediterranean.
When the Romans eventually conquered the Etruscan civilization, they also inherited their love for broccoli. Roman farmers expanded the process of careful plant breeding. They deliberately chose plants that grew large, delicious flower heads. This changed the plant into the broccoli we recognize today. The Romans viewed it as a highly valuable luxury treat. According to historical culinary records, Roman chefs popularized cooking it by boiling it with combinations of white wine and olive oil, chopped onions and aromatic herbs, and rich, creamy cumin and coriander sauces. The Romans grew even more broccoli by planting it on huge slave-run estates called latifundia. They took advantage of Italy's cool winters and rich soil, which the crop absolutely loves. Because it was always available, broccoli became a permanent part of Roman culture. It famously led to imperial folklore, including reports of Drusus Julius Caesar, the son of Emperor Tiberius, who became so profoundly obsessed with eating the Roman-bred vegetable that he allegedly consumed nothing but broccoli for an entire month until his father publicly reprimanded him.
broccoli expanded out of Italy and into the rest of continental Europe in the 1500s. This happened mostly because of royal marriages, trendy noble chefs, and growing trade routes. The single most important event in broccoli's migration happened in 1533, when the Italian noblewoman Catherine de' Medici left Florence to marry the future King Henry II of France. Unwilling to give up her favorite dishes, Catherine arrived at the French court accompanied by her own staff of elite Italian chefs, pastry makers, and master gardeners. Among the exotic Florentine ingredients she popularized among the French aristocracy were artichokes, individual forks, and broccoli. The French initially didn't have a word for it, occasionally grouping it with other Italian imports or referring to it as luxury Italian greens.
While broccoli successfully established a foothold in continental Europe during the mid to late 1500s, its journey further north to places like England was significantly delayed. Cooking broccoli releases sulfur, which makes a strong, distinct smell. People in Northern Europe were not used to this family of veggies. At first, they looked down on broccoli, treating it like a weird novelty or food only for poor people. Because people rejected it, broccoli was not widely grown in Britain until the early 1700s. When it finally arrived, gardening books introduced it under the funny nickname Italian asparagus. It was also brought to North America during this 18th century and was famously grown by Thomas Jefferson at Monticello.
Broccoli first arrived in America in the late 1700s, but it did not become popular until the 1920s. It went from a strange, foreign vegetable to a massive business in three main steps. Thomas Jefferson loved gardening. He brought seeds from around the world to plant at his home in Virginia. On May 27, 1767, he wrote down that he planted broccoli seeds from Italy. He grew green, white, and purple types of broccoli, which he called Italian asparagus. Even though the founding father grew it, regular people did not care about it. For over 100 years, it stayed a rare plant kept only in private gardens. The real change happened when many people from southern Italy moved to America. Around 1900, these immigrant families started planting broccoli seeds from home in their small backyards in New York and New Jersey so they could eat their favorite food. Two Italian brothers, Stefano and Andrea D'Arrigo, turned broccoli into a national food. In 1925, they started mass farming broccoli in California and used ice to ship it across the country by train. They advertised it on the radio and in newspapers, and Americans loved it. By the 1940s, broccoli was more popular than cauliflower. Today, this history is why California still grows over 90% of all broccoli in the United States. That brings us to the end of our lesson, my hairless friends. Thank you so much for swinging along with me today. I truly hope you enjoyed the information and learned that nature is innocent, and humans are the ones who invented the green monster. Before you swing away to your next activity, please do me a massive favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another jungle lecture. Also, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment down below right now. If you are going to keep eating your greens, leave a broccoli emoji. But if you are joining Team Chimpanzee and sticking to fruit, unless you get force-fed by your zookeeper, drop that banana emoji instead. And if you want more juicy truths, you can click right here on the screen to check out our full playlist, African Animals Fact Check Your Food. Thank you for staying until the end, and thank you for not making me throw anything. Goodbye.